Hi, I'm Kathy Wesley from Columbus Karma Thegsum Chöling Tibetan Buddhist Meditation Center, and I'm making a short video for you about the new KTC shrine. Many people say they're very excited about the new shrine that's coming. It's going to be installed this week, and we're going to do some consecrations of the new statues next week. But a few people have mentioned to me that they're feeling a little sad because they're going to miss the old shrine. And I completely agree with you. The old shrine, in fact, all of our old shrines were incredibly beautiful. And it is of great thanks to Jillian Goodrich and the entire shrine team that it continues looking so beautiful. Now, I'd like to take a look at a slideshow that will give us a little bit of a look at where Columbus KTC has been in terms of shrines and where we're headed. First of all, I want to say I'm sorry I don't have pictures of the original shrine in the people's homes where we first met. And I also don't have any pictures right on hand of when we were at our first rental space called Loft One, which was a third floor walk up uh, meeting hall at the corner of Doddridge and High in Columbus, just north of the Ohio State University campus. That third floor walk up is still there, and that building is still there. In fact, on the ground floor, it's Hound Dog's Pizza. But when we had it, we had the entire third floor to ourselves, and we made a very big shrine. But again, when we moved into our new location at the corner of Rich and Grub Streets in Franklinton in 1990, we had to downsize a bit and consolidate a bit. Then we had to change again when we had a fire that destroyed our building at Rich and Grub Streets in January of 2016. We went through an 8-year process of gathering information, raising money, and building our new center. And so our new center opened in March of 2022, and there was a large gap on the eastern wall where the shrine was supposed to be. We just didn't have enough money to build the shrine. But over the next 3 years, we gathered money and now we're ready to get started. So let me show you a couple of pictures to give you a flavor of where we've been. And I thought it would be nice to make this video in my own home shrine room, which contains great images of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas that continue to uplift and inspire me. So it's my hope that by sharing these images with you, you'll get a flavor for what we have in store. Okay, let's try the slideshow. All right. So this is a picture of the shrine room as it was at the location at Rich and Grub Streets. This is during a visit by Lama Losang from the Gainesville KTC. This is probably taken sometime, I'm going to say in the maybe in the early aughts, the early 2000s, and it shows all of the amazing collection of statues and Tonka paintings that we collected over the years. This is our main image of the Buddha, which we've had for a number of years. And this is our very first Tonka was Chenrezig. Our next Tonka, which was Tara, and a Tanka that was of the Shakyamuni Buddha that was given to us by the 16th Karmapa. Over here is a special Tanka of the protector Mahakala. And over here, an amazing Tanka of the Karma Kaju refuge tree. Just out of the picture over here, you can't see our very original Buddha image made of plaster and filled and blessed by the 16th Karmapa. So let's switch over to what happened later. Those of you who remember the story of our fire know that on January 31st, 2016, an arson fire was set that destroyed the roof of our little church building at Rich and Grub Street. Once the roof collapsed into the shrine room, the entire shrine room walls caught on fire, and all of our Tonka paintings were destroyed. This is a famous picture, and I think Marcus Casey took this picture of the Columbus Division of Fire rescuing our Karmapa dream flag. Here's a little bit of a picture of what the lineage shrine looked like before the fire. This is our original Buddha image, and it's now in our children's shrine area in the new building. And this was our complete set of Tibetan Buddhist scriptures and commentaries in the form of Tibetan books. Here's how here's how our little church building looked after the fire. You can see the damage that was done and all of the siding that had to be pried off in order to put out the blaze. Here's that dream flag rescued by the fire department. This is Kim Miracle, who was the director at that time, and her husband Bill, showing the flag, which was a little tattered from its exposure to the elements, but otherwise unharmed. The very next Sunday, the very following Sunday, we regrouped at the art gallery at the McConnell Center for the Arts in Worthington, where a friend of ours had arranged for us to have a rental of one of the main galleries. So you can see the art on the wall that was being displayed at the time, and a little shrine of quickly gathered together items, a tanka that was borrowed from someone else, and a few of our friends bought us some flowers. And so that was the day that I gave a Dharma talk that I still recall, where I took people on a guided meditation through the old building so we could say goodbye to it. We walked into the front doors in our imagination, walked up the stairs into the shrine room. We saw the shrine, we made offerings, we bowed. And as we left the shrine room, we imagined that all of the shrine objects dissolved into light and merged into our hearts. And I invited everybody to hold the shrine in their hearts until it could manifest again in a new location. So I'd like for you to think about that idea as we go through the next sets of pictures. This was the next iteration of our shrine in the basement at Tiferet, Israel, where we ended up staying for just about 6 years while we were raising money. This is a display for Tibetan New Year or Losar with all of the Losar offerings. We were in the basement of the synagogue, and we were given complete license to put up a Buddhist shrine in the basement of a Jewish temple. And it was put together. This little 3-tiered shrine was put together by our friend Don Fortner, and that you'll see this 3-tiered shrine again very soon in one of the upcoming pictures. But this was how it looked at the beginning of our time at Tiferet. Later, we missed the yellow color of our walls, and so several folks got together and built us these screens so that we could have that warm yellow color. In fact, and then we added things to the shrine. We made His Holiness's seat bigger, and we had a side shrine as well. And this again is another special occasion full of flowers. Oh, by the way, this small Tara tanka was one of the few scroll paintings or tankas saved from the old building. Then when the time was coming for us to actually begin building, we built another shrine. This shrine was put together from various objects, and including our original Buddha. And this shrine was built just for one day when we did the land blessing ceremony in April of 2019. I think we did it was either April of 2019 or April of 2020. And we did a big fire puja on the vacant lot where the building was to go, and we invited the lamas from KTD Monastery. This is Khenpo Tenkyang. This is Lama Karma Drodol. Here's our friend Lama Tom. And we were all outside doing blessings for the land. Here are some offerings being offered to the fire pit. You can see Rich Street here in the background and the alley right behind here. So now we had to start thinking, what kind of shrine were we going to have in the new building? We had a lot of examples to choose from. This particular shrine was put together at the 3-year retreat center where I attended and Lama Tom attended at Karma Ling in Delhi, New York. This was custom ordered, and you can see the beautiful carving and decorations. And you can also see all of the Dharma books placed at the top. And we have images here of the primordial Buddha, Vajradhara, and then there's a Buddha image behind this throne of His Holiness Karmapa. This is a very special image of green Tara from Nepal. So this was the type of shrine that Khenpo Karthar Rinpoche designed. And he really liked natural wood and he liked warm tones. So I kind of thought about creating the new shrine for Columbus Karma Thegsum Chöling based on this design of warm wood and traditional compartments for statues. I also like the hardwood floor, so I thought that that would be a good addition for Columbus KTC, and several donors agreed and donated funds for us to build a hardwood floor at Columbus KTC. Now, if you want to know what my real inspiration was, here is the shrine room at our home monastery at Karma Triyana Dharma Chakra in Woodstock, New York. A large image of the Buddha that's 11 feet tall, sitting on a base that's 6 feet high. It really brings out the flavor of the entire room. And on either side of this large image of the Buddha, which is not in a cabinet, are 2 cabinet shrines, one on this side, one on this side, containing Dharma books, as well as images of great masters. This is the 16th Karmapa, and this is a stupa or reliquary containing his relics, as well as other smaller images of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So this was sort of what I was thinking of, what was on my mind as I put together the ideas for the Columbus KTC Shrine. Also, you'll see here painting, hand-painted decorations at the top and on the sides. You'll see that echoed in what we eventually chose to do for Columbus KTC. This is the KTD Woodstock Shrine Room with its 4 pillars standing for the 4 Noble Truths and the 8 beams that stand for the Eightfold Noble Path. There's a different image of the central Buddha image and the 2 side shrines. So when we put our plan together, Kim Miracle took a great survey and we got the ideas from various members of the center as to what types of activities we wanted to do at the new building. And we created this design that would fit on the property, would include a handicap ramp, an exterior stupa or reliquary, some plants, and a glass entry. Khenpo Karthar Rinpoche's advice to us was to make the building not look too Tibetan, but to look more like a conventional American building, but inside there would be a traditional Tibetan shrine. By the way, you'll see that even in this initial design, there was a spire, a Tibetan spire, put on the very top of the building. You'll see more about that in a minute. So here was that shrine room that Khenpo Rinpoche described. The floor is white oak. The walls are a custom color of yellow, which we named after Susan Parker, who designed the color for us, and we called it Susan's marigold color. And look at the very simple shrine with 2 sets of side cabinets and a central shrine. And that's Don's 3-tier shrine there, but with our older Buddha statue and the newer one as well. But we started thinking about how we would create a design that would remind us of the KTD Shrine Room. This is an initial set of drawings from our Dharma friend Sean Goodfellow, now living of Columbus KTC and now living in Santa Fe, New Mexico, showing some basic designs for our set of pillars and beams and our little console shrine with a central Buddha image. You see how we began to develop the idea. And that eventually gave way to what we have and what we are building now. The Matthew Hatcher, formerly of the Idea Foundry and now of Matt Hatcher Productions, is producing a beautiful shrine for us that will have images of the Buddha Vajradhara in the center on a throne, side images of Chenrezig and Tara, as well as side images of the thousand-armed Chenrezi and the protector Mahakala. So it'll be somewhat similar to our previous shrine in that there will be separate side shrines. That big empty space that you see here was always meant to be filled with statuary. But we just didn't have the time, the money, or the situation until now. But due to the gifts of our donors and a wonderful campaign that is still ongoing, if you would like to donate, we're trying to raise money to pay for not just the console shrines and and so forth, but also to put the spire on top of our building. By the way, you remember that picture of the KTD Monastery Shrine Room? Here is wallpaper that we had made based on architectural photos that we had taken of the KTD shrine painting. These are our images. This is our image of the central image of the Buddha, the primordial Buddha Vajradhara. Vajradhara was selected by Khenpo Karthar Rinpoche as being our central image. Vajradhara symbolizes both the Dharmakaya, the primordial awakened state that exists in all beings, as well as the form of the Buddha Shakyamuni that appeared to Tilopa, one of the forefathers of the Karma-Kagyu lineage. It is said that after Tilopa attained his enlightenment, he had a vision of the Buddha Shakyamuni appearing in this form, who gave him essential short instructions on how to meditate on the nature of mind and attain Buddhahood. Here's our image of Green Tara, the protectress. Here's Chenrezig, the Bodhisattva of compassion. Here's our Mahakala statue, which is now being currently put together for us in Asia, and the spire that will go on top of our building. Those of you who have been out to KTC, this is an older picture before the house across the street was built. This was the stupa or reliquary that was gifted to us by Lama Tashi Dundup of the let's see, Kagyu Thegsum or Karma Thegsum Chöling Center in Toronto. And it has relics on the inside and a beautiful image of the Buddha in the middle. What goes into a statue and what goes into a stupa? Lots of things, relics and rolls of mantras, as well as juniper branches. Juniper is, I guess you could say, to Tibetans what sage is to Native Americans. It's aromatic and inspiring as an incense. Inside our statues are going to be these mantra rolls made by our mantra rolling team. On Saturdays, we met from 2023 to 2024 and made, I would say, well over 200 of these. And thanks go to Bill Miracle and the entire team that helped us with all of the mantra rolls. By the way, the colors stand for the 5 Buddha families, which stand for the 5 qualities of enlightenment. Yeah, this is a picture of our current director, Chuck Drake, and our shrine keeper, Julaine, trying out the wallpaper on the walls of KTC before it was installed. And yes, you want to know what goes in those mantra rolls? Lots and lots of mantras. Look how tiny the mantras are on these pieces of paper. These are 11 by 17 sheets of paper that we painstakingly painted with saffron and yellow food coloring, dried, and then cut into strips to make the mantra rolls that you saw in the previous picture. We stayed busy for weeks and weeks and weeks with this. Then this is the console shrine that's being constructed for us at Matt Hatcher Productions, and we're really looking forward to having it in our new space. This is made of cherry, and it will be stained with a chestnut stain. And here we are, just this past weekend, preparing the statuary for painting inside. That's a little bit of Lama Wangdu there. And we also took delivery on Saturday of the Mahamudra lineage masters statues that will go on either side of the main statue of Vajradhara. Here's Bill painting the back sides of the halo that goes around Vajradhara. And that concludes our our little slideshow. Well, we're about out of time for this video, but I want to thank all of you for being with us and thank you for supporting us. And I hope that the shrine that you remember from Columbus KTC will manifest from your heart and whichever of the forms you remember it in. Whether you remember the shrine from our Grub Street location, Grub and Rich Street location, whether you remember it from Tifereth Israel, or from the new building. We hope that that shrine will come into your heart and manifest as this beautiful and uplifting space. So I dedicate the merit from this short session to all sentient beings in particular, and for the long life of Dharma, all of our masters, and our work at Columbus KTC. Thank you all for being part of it.